Hey everybody, it's JJ. It is November 22nd, 2020. Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you're doing well. We've got a lot of news to get into. I just wanted to recap on some recent news and try to paint a picture of where we're headed at in this economy, in this lockdown, recession, depression that doesn't appear to have any solutions being discussed about it from our quote-unquote leaders. Let's start right here. We've got a dire warning about the economy out of JP Morgan. And they are out there saying the following quote, "This winter will be grim, and we believe the economy will contract again in the first quarter," unquote. And this economist, or these economists out of JP Morgan, are also saying that GDP is going to turn negative by early 2021. Do we need JP Morgan to tell us how bad the economy is? No, we don't. But when a big institution and economists that work for these institutions speak, people listen. So we'll still talk about it here. Now, is this just a problem here in the United States? Absolutely not. This is a worldwide problem, and it's a global economic system where endless amounts of money can be created out of nothing and distributed into areas that a group of a few select people have the power and authority to decide the winners and the losers. So yes, they can create asset bubbles, they can continue to inflate asset bubbles to create an economic illusion of prosperity, and sadly a lot of times it's just to line their own pockets or to keep themselves in a job, if you know what I mean. Alright, but this is a debt tsunami, it's worldwide. We have central banks going crazy across the world attempting to fix a problem that was created by debt, so they're creating more debt to try to fix too much debt. Right? Add on to all this other pain, we have now the lockdowns, and lockdown 2.0 recession is kicking in. We're seeing panic buying now in grocery stores, panic buying of toilet paper and other household goods is hitting once again with new lockdown restrictions. In some states worse than others. In California it's really bad. Michigan's another bad one. We're seeing food lines surging once again. Here's a graph of the term, of people searching for the term food bank. We did see at the beginning of the lockdown starting in March, we saw a big spike up in that search term food bank, and now we see it rising again here with this second wave in the lockdown 2.0. Right, there's states implementing stay-at-home orders and curfews on top of the other restrictions and lockdown mechanisms that are being put in. Again, some states worse than others. In California here, my county, we have a curfew. And just think about how many restaurants and businesses that evolve around their nighttime business and their nighttime customers. Also, a lot of businesses have to be outside. It's getting colder now. How many people want to go sit out under a tent or a canvas to eat their dinner in the middle of winter? And we're seeing the restaurant industry and people working in that industry just devastated. Servers file for unemployment for the second time this year amidst these shutdowns and restrictions and lockdowns. Right? A lot of these people, I'm sure, a lot of servers and people working in restaurants were part of that category that we talk about so often here in this channel of the 70 to 80% of people that live paycheck to paycheck. And this was true before the shutdown, before the lockdown recession. And how are these people going to survive now just living on unemployment? All right, are we going to see an uptick now in back due rents? It's already close to 3 million. Something tells me that this whole economy, this whole financial situation is about to take another turn for the worst. And if you've been on this channel, you know that we've been saying here for months that we're far from being out of the woods. Just look at the new jobless filings that came out just last Thursday, just a few days ago, and we see another uptick in new jobless filings. All right, again, a big part of it is because of the more lockdowns that are happening and the bigger restrictions that are being implemented. But we know that the jobless claims were not dropping that fast, and we're still way above where we were before the lockdowns took place back in March. A recent article here out of Business Insider, it talks about the K-Shape Recovery. We've discussed the K-shaped recovery numerous times here in this channel. Sorry about the noise, that's my son back there trying to scare somebody, I think. But we're also seeing the K-shaped recovery in companies where people at the top making the higher incomes are getting laid off less frequent than the people at the bottom and the frontline employees. High earning sectors unemployment rate jumped to just 12% and now sits at 5.5%. Yet low earning industries saw their unemployment rate rocket from 23% and now it stands at 9.6%. So almost twice, almost double the unemployment for the low earning industries versus the higher earning industries. Right? So it's the people that are barely scraping by now seeing bigger job losses, and with the unemployment rate almost double as the higher earners. Alright, so this whole situation, it's more than just sending out stimulus checks. What happens when everybody has money to spend? Let's say they send out stimulus checks every 2 weeks, $1,200 stimulus checks, or you pick the number, $2,000 stimulus checks. But let's say they send them out more frequently. Is that going to fix the problem? No, it's going to give people money to spend. But what's going to happen? They're just going to go out and spend it at mega multinational corporations while small businesses continue to get shut down and decimated. Right? So a lot of times this money is just going to go to the top anyways, and it's going to cause inflation. When everybody has money to spend and nobody's producing anything, then you have a supply and demand issue. You have more people with money, less product to buy, so you have that imbalance, and that's going to cause rising prices. Let's talk about inflation here. Article out of Yahoo Finance, or out of Bloomberg rather, via Yahoo Finance. Inflation may be about to pick up sharply. Renewed demand. U.S. import prices are up sharply. Change from a year ago, 2%. So this is on top of all the other rising prices that people have to contend with. The high home prices, the high cost of energy, right? Rising food prices, insurance, you name it. That's rising prices everywhere. Even though technically when you look at the situation with incomes and wages and the unemployment situation, technically you should see deflation in this type of environment. But what's happened? So basically manipulation and intervention into the system has caused price action to be the exact opposite of what it really should be if we really had a free market economy. So yes, expect more inflation, especially if they put out more stimulus and we continue to see stagnant production here out of the U.S. We know that the last 4 years we were promised a lot of jobs coming back. We really didn't see that. Of course, the lockdowns, shutdowns didn't help, but even before that, we really were not seeing much improvement when it comes to production and manufacturing jobs. Tweet here out of @ImpeachmentHour. The national debt increased by nearly $7 trillion under the current president. That's $700 billion. And the meme says here, brace yourselves, the GOP is about to care about the national debt again. That's right. So if a new administration comes into power, the other party in this false left to right paradigm, they're going to say, hey, look at the debt, this is bad. But when they were in power, no problem. And look what's happened, $7 trillion. Did it really help the average person? Or did it help the mega rich get even richer? Let's wrap it up right here. Parents took out billions in loans to pay for kids' college. Now they're buried in debt. All right, so it's not just the younger generation, the millennials, it's also the parents that are trying to help them pay for college, which is also at bubble level prices. Because why? Because of intervention. Right? When you have these loans that are backed with unlimited fiat currency, prices are just going to rise and rise and rise. Yet we have people taking out loans, and now probably many of these people that paid for their kids' college, they're not going to be able to retire because of the outrageous costs that are created by the infinite money machine. All right, we're going to wrap this up for now. Hope everybody is well. I just put out that new video on Patreon this weekend. We're going to start doing a lot more uploads. Just type in Bull Boom Blog, and you'll see the link to the left here on the left-hand column. Just type that in, Bull Boom Blog. Go over to the left. You'll see the banner right there. And you can follow me there, say hi to me over there, and support me there if you like our work. Please come back for more. Hit that like button, subscribe. See you next time. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye now.